All right, so thinking about joining the Galaxy, the Samsung Galaxy S24, that is. Well, you've come to the right place. We're going to dive deep into a whole bunch of reviews and specs today, especially this awesome breakdown from RechargeMyTopup.com. They really get into like the nitty-gritty of what makes this phone tick. By the end of this, you'll know if the S24 is your perfect match or just another flashy phone.
And what's really interesting is how Samsung has gone all out to make a phone for like just about everyone with this X24 series. Different materials prices. They've really thought about what different people are looking for.
Totally. Like, first impressions, Samsung's just screaming premium this year, but not just in a generic way. There's nuance to it.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. The S24 and the S24 Plus have that classic sleek aluminum frame, a real staple in the flagship world. But then there's the S24 Ultra.
Titanium. Now, that's not your everyday material, is it?
Not at all. It's lighter and stronger than aluminum, which makes sense given like Samsung is positioning the Ultra as the ultimate premium option. And for those who want the high-end bells and whistles without the price tag that makes your wallet weeps, there's the S24 FE. It's a bit more budget-friendly, plus it comes in a whole rainbow of colors, according to RechargeMyTopup. They call them vibrants, which has me curious. But let's talk about the display. Across the board, it's dynamic AMOLED 2X tech, which is fancy talk for super screen. But here's the kicker. A peak brightness of 2600 nits. A lot of nits.
Okay, yeah. Translate that for us non-tech wizards. What does 2600 nits actually mean?
Think about trying to use your phone on a sunny day. Annoying, right? With this brightness, even direct sunlight won't stop you from seeing your screen clearly. It's a game changer for using your phone outdoors.
That's huge. No more squinting at maps or struggling to read messages. But there's another change that caught my eye. The S24 Ultra has a flat display this time. What's the deal with that? Did curved screens go out of style?
It's an interesting move. Some users love that immersive feel of curved screens, but others found them prone to accidental touches. Going flat might be Samsung's way of prioritizing practicality and durability, especially with the addition of Corning Gorilla Glass armor. It's like they're saying this phone is built to last.
Okay, makes sense. Durability matters, especially if you're planning to keep this phone for a while. But enough about the outside. Let's get under the hood, and let me tell you, things get powerful.
We're talking next-level processing power here. The S24 and the S24 Plus pack either the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 or the Exynos 2400, depending on where you are in the world. The Ultra gets the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 globally. No regional variations there.
And the FE, it's rocking the Exynos 2400E, so like a slightly less intense version. Will it still keep up with the everyday hustle?
Think of it like this. The 2400E is a finely tuned engine. Maybe not winning any speed records against the Ultra's chipset, but for everything most people do, social media, emails, even some gaming, it's got more than enough horsepower.
So smooth sailing all around. RechargeMyTopup also mentioned Android 14 and One UI 6.1. So the software sounds top-notch too, but here's the thing that really blew my mind.
7 years of OS and security updates? Yeah, that's almost unheard of in the phone world. Most phones are lucky to get a couple years. This is Samsung making a statement about longevity and value. Your phone won't be obsolete in 2 years. It's like buying a phone that grows with you.
Future-proofing, I love that. All right, I know you've been waiting for it. It's camera time.
The camera setup on these phones is really something else.
Let's start with the S24 and S24 Plus. Both have a 50MP main sensor, which is already pretty impressive. But then you get to the S24 Ultra, and things get crazy.
They went all out with a 200MP primary sensor. It's almost like Samsung is flexing its camera muscles. But before you get caught up in the megapixel hype, there's more to it than just a big number.
Right, because RechargeMyTopup really emphasized the Ultra's 50MP 5x periscope telephoto lens, so you get that incredible zoom capability without sacrificing quality.
Exactly. And let's not forget the role of AI in all of this. It's not just about the hardware anymore. AI is stepping in to enhance image quality, sharpen details, and make those photos really pop.
Oh, and for all the selfie lovers out there, there's a 12MP front-facing camera across all the models.
So no matter what you're shooting, landscapes, portraits, selfies, the S24 series seems ready to capture it all. But all that power needs some serious juice, right? Let's talk battery life.
Nobody wants a phone that dies in the middle of the day. The S24 Ultra packs a 5,000 mAh battery, which is a real powerhouse.
The S24 Plus and S24 FE are right behind it at 4,900 mAh, at 4,700 mAh. That's still pretty respectable. And the standard S24 has a 4,000 milliampere battery. But what about when you do need to recharge? How long are we talking?
Not long at all. The Ultra and S24 Plus both have 45W fast charging, so you're back up and running quickly. The S24 and S24 FE come in at 25W. Still pretty speedy. And of course, there's wireless and reverse wireless charging for that extra bit of convenience. So even if you do need a quick boost, you're not chained to the wall for hours. And speaking of convenience, let's dive into Galaxy AI and connectivity.
Galaxy AI is Samsung's way of injecting even more intelligence into their phones. Think things like real-time translation during calls, AI-powered image editing, and even features to boost your productivity.
It sounds like they're really trying to integrate AI into every aspect of the phone experience.
Exactly. Now, in terms of connectivity, the S24 Ultra is at the forefront with Wi-Fi 7 and something called UWB.
Hold on, Wi-Fi 7. That sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It's the latest and greatest in Wi-Fi technology, offering incredibly fast speeds and low latency. UWB, or ultra-wideband, is another cool technology that allows for precise location tracking and data transfer. The other models in the series come equipped with Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.3, which are still very capable. And of course, all of them have 5G for those lightning-fast data speeds.
You know, one thing that really impressed me while reading RechargeMyTopup's review was Samsung's commitment to sustainability with the S24 series.
Absolutely. In the past, tech companies haven't always been known for their eco-friendliness, but it seems like Samsung is making a real effort here.
Yeah, they mentioned using more recycled materials in the phone's instruction. Do you know anything about that?
It's pretty cool, actually. They've incorporated recycled glass and plastics into various parts of the phone. It's not just about making the phone itself more sustainable. They've even rethought the packaging.
So less waste all around. That's great to hear. It seems like people are finally waking up to the impact our tech has on the planet, so it's encouraging to see companies like Samsung stepping up.
Yeah, I think it's a sign of things to come. Consumers are demanding more sustainable products, and companies are starting to listen.
Right, and RechargeMyTopup also pointed out that Samsung has made the S24 series easier to repair.
That's another big win for sustainability. If you can easily repair your phone, you're less likely to throw it away and buy a new one. Keeps those phones out of landfills longer, which is good news for everyone.
Plus, it's good for our wallets. Repairs are usually cheaper than buying a brand new phone. It's a win-win situation. Okay, so we've talked a lot about what makes the S24 series great, but what about the competition? How does it stack up against other flagship phones out there?
Well, RechargeMyTopup mentioned that the S24 will be facing some stiff competition, especially from Apple and Google. They're the big players in the smartphone game right now.
It's a tough market for sure. There are so many amazing phones out there.
But Samsung seems pretty confident that the S24 series has what it takes to come out on top. And looking at the specs and features, they might just be right. They've packed a lot into these phones.
True, but specs don't tell the whole story. How a phone performs in real life is what matters most.
You're absolutely right. We need to see how it handles everyday tasks, how the battery holds up, how the camera performs in different lighting conditions. That's where those in-depth reviews and user feedback become invaluable.
Exactly. RechargeMyTopup gave us a great overview, but it's important to do your own research, read what other users are saying, and maybe even try the phone out yourself before making a decision.
There are tons of resources out there, user forums, social media tech blogs. You can get a real feel for the phone and see if it's the right fit for them.
Speaking of fit, let's talk about price. Did RechargeMyTopup give any hints about how much the S24 series will cost?
They didn't give specific numbers, but they did say that Samsung is aiming to offer a range of options to suit different budgets.
That makes sense. Not everyone can afford to drop $1,000 on a phone. It's good to see that Samsung is thinking about affordability, especially with how the economy is these days.
Yeah, it's a smart move. People are more price conscious than ever. Offering value for money is essential.
It'll be interesting to see how the market reacts to the S24 series and how it competes on price with those other big-name phones.
There's definitely a lot of buzz and anticipation surrounding the release. Samsung fans and tech enthusiasts are eager to see what they've come up with.
And I have a feeling they won't be disappointed. Samsung has a pretty good track record when it comes to flagship phones.
They've consistently delivered impressive devices, and the S24 series seems to be no exception. It feels like a culmination of years of innovation and refinement.
They've taken what worked well in previous models and elevated it, adding new features and making subtle improvements.
It really shows their commitment to pushing the boundaries of what's possible with a smartphone.
And their dedication to providing users with a truly cutting-edge experience. I think that's what sets Samsung apart from some of its competitors.
There's a sense of passion for innovation that shines through in their products. They seem to really understand what users are looking for.
And they're not afraid to take risks and experiment with new technologies and features. The S24 series is a perfect example of that. From the titanium build of the Ultra to the integration of AI throughout the entire lineup.
It's clear they're not content with simply resting on their laurels. They're pushing the envelope and constantly striving to improve.
And that's what makes following the tech world so exciting. There's always something new and amazing just around a corner.
With companies like Samsung leading the charge, the future of mobile technology seems incredibly bright. It's a future filled with possibilities.
Possibilities that we can only dream of right now. But who knows, maybe those dreams will become reality sooner than we think.
It's a privilege to witness this technological revolution unfold. And it's a privilege to share this journey of discovery with our listeners.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive into the Samsung Galaxy S24 series, let's take a moment to appreciate how far we've come in terms of mobile technology.
And let's look forward to the even more amazing innovations that lie ahead.
The future of tech is incredibly bright, and it's only going to get brighter.
And who knows what incredible devices we'll be exploring in our next deep dive.
Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
And most importantly, have fun along the way.
Because that's what tech is all about: discovery, innovation, and the sheer joy of exploring the unknown.
So let's raise a virtual toast to the future of technology and all the amazing adventures that await us.
Cheers!
Cheers.
Okay, so we've covered like a ton of ground here. Design, display, performance, cameras, battery life, AI, even sustainability in the competition. But before we wrap up our deep dive into the Samsung Galaxy S24, let's shift gears and talk about you, the listener.
Yeah, it's all well and good to know the specs and features, but what really matters is how this information helps you, make a decision.
Exactly. So let's say you're seriously thinking about getting an S24. What are, your priorities? What are the must-haves that would make you click Add to Cart?
Are you drawn to the Ultra with all its cutting-edge tech, even if it means spending a bit more? Or maybe the balance of features and affordability in the S24 Plus or standard S24 is more your style.
Perhaps you're on a tighter budget and the FE has caught your eye. What compromises are you willing to make, and which features are non-negotiable for you?
It all comes down to what you need and what you value in a phone. There's no right or wrong answer here.
RechargeMyTopup gave us a fantastic overview, but the real deep dive happens when you take this information and apply it to your own situation.
For example, if battery life is your biggest concern, you want to pay close attention to those mAh numbers and charging speeds. Does a 4,000 mAh's battery cut it for you, or do you need the Ultra's 5,000 mAh powerhouse?
Or maybe you're a photography enthusiast and that 200 MP camera on the Ultra is calling your name. Is that a feature you'll actually use, or would you be just as happy with the 50 MP sensors on the other models?
Think about those 7 years of software updates. Does that give you peace of mind knowing your phone will be supported for years to come? Does Samsung's commitment to using recycled materials factor into your decision?
These are the questions that'll help you cut through the noise and find the S24 that's perfect for you.
And here's a final thought to consider as you continue your research. We've talked a lot about the hardware and the software. But what about the bigger picture, the Samsung ecosystem?
Ooh, that's a great point. The S24 doesn't exist in isolation, does it?
Exactly. Do you use other Samsung products, like Galaxy Buds, a Galaxy Watch, or maybe even a Samsung tablet?
Think about how the S24 would fit into your current tech setup. Would it enhance your workflow, your entertainment, your overall connected life?
Samsung is known for its seamless integration across devices, so that's definitely something to keep in mind.
Well, listener, we've given you a lot to think about, but that's what the deep dive is all about: equipping you with the knowledge, sparking your curiosity, and sending you off on your own journey of exploration.
Remember, this is just the beginning. There's a whole world of information out there about the Samsung Galaxy S24 series. So keep researching, keep exploring. Most importantly, have fun finding the perfect phone for you.
Happy exploring, and we'll catch you on our next deep dive. 7CIS.